here's everything you need to know on Town Debug's new attachment update. If you just want the exact info on every single attachment that was added, I'm going to leave that in the description. Take this with a little bit of a grain of salt. I haven't looked over everything like completely just yet, so, and some of it's a little bit opinionated, but here we go. Alright, so off rip, there were a bunch of optics added. A lot of this is going to be preference. It's really kind of opinionated, honestly, on what kind of optic you like. I'm just going to go through all of them. So that's the AEMS. Then we're going to have the hollow sun. Generally, they're all pretty simple, very clean optics. Again, preference, though generally at close range, you're going to want to go with optics that have lower zoom levels. And then at range, you're going to want to go with optics that have a little bit higher zoom levels. Then again, though, this is all preference. I'm just going to show you the Echo Tech was a bit changed, so I'm going to show that as well. It's just a bit cleaner now. And one thing to mention, I know a lot of you guys already know this, but M415 does and ACOG decrease vertical recoil and horizontal recoil just a little bit. So maybe you want to consider those in your loadouts. Next thing I'm going to go over is the range nerf. I'm going to have something on screen right now. Essentially, every gun now has significantly less range. So I'm going to take a look at the stats for the base AK-47 right here. We're going to see damage range 150, 350. So essentially what this means is that 150 studs, that's when the damage is going to decrease and slowly go down until it hits 26 at 350 studs. Essentially, a lot of guns had a lot more range before this update, but now it's significantly lower. You just gotta have to think about that in your loadouts. The guns that are going to have the most range generally are going to be heavy ARs, something like, you know, the SCAR, as well as the LMGs, like the MG4, as well as battle rifles, like the G3A3, DMRs, and then snipers as well. So just think about that when you're making your loadouts, about how much range the gun has and how much you want your gun to go, essentially. Next thing I'm going to mention is grips. So that's probably one of the biggest things in this update. I'm not going to mention every single grip, but something I do want to mention are the Strike and SC Elite grip. So the SC Elite is right here. It's going to be minus 20% horizontal, 10% accuracy, and then minus 10% vertical. So this grip's, it's all right. I'd say it's probably one of the top two in my personal opinion, just because it has pretty good horizontal. But I think probably one of the best grips in the entire update would be the Strike grip. And the reason I say this is because it has minus 30% horizontal recoil. So you can change guns that have crazy recoil to almost none, almost with just this grip. It makes it a lot more controllable because vertical is easy, you just pull down. Horizontal, you can't control. So it's a really good grip. As well, there are going to be grips that increase your ADS speed, that make you take longer to ADS, as well as guns that will grips that will decrease your ADS speed. For example, Skeleton will decrease your aim speed by 20%, so it's a little snappier. That might help for close range fights, depending on, again, how you make your loadout and whatnot. Next thing I'm going to mention is going to be muzzles. So these are really huge as well. I'm not going to go over the suppressors too much. What I'm going to focus on right now is just the compensators. So these are all the new muzzle attachments added, excluding this compensator right here. But in my opinion, I think the best muzzle attachment in this new update is going to be the SLR, and it's similar to the reason for the grip is because it has minus 35% horizontal recoil. So you can make your guns have very low recoil. And if we combine that, like I said, the SLR compensator with something like the Strike grip, again, you're going to have very low horizontal recoil. And the gun's going to be very consistent at medium to maybe even long range. I think the regular compensator is also still fairly good. It's pretty similar to the SLR, but again, compensator just has a little more vertical and slightly less horizontal. I'm focused on horizontal generally. The TAA muzzle brake is okay, but I don't think it's the best in terms of recoil reduction, just because it's focused on vertical recoil rather than horizontal, and vertical is generally you're just pulling down and it's almost like you have no recoil anyway. So vertical you don't need much help with, in my opinion. And a little honorable mention, there's also two lasers added. The blue laser, which is basic, a little hard to see, but it works. And then the NGAL, which is a laser and flashlight combined. Oh, basic, but it also works. I'm going to be making more videos about all these new attachments and whatnot, so make sure you guys subscribe with notifications on so you can stay up to date on my new videos on these new attachments. This was just a little quick update video so you guys know what's going on in Town Debug. Thank you all for watching. Stay gooey. Peace.